Okay, with this video, I am going to try to teach you guys just the basic buttons on SketchUp. Okay, we're going to try to use almost all these and a few of these on the right side as well. Okay, so just kind of click along with me. Pause, rewind when you get stuck, lost, confused. It may have asked you when you opened SketchUp what template you wanted to use, and you always want to use simple feet and inches. Okay, and then it helps if you're signed in, because then it will auto-save for you every few minutes. Okay, but don't ever assume it auto-saved for you. When you're done with the drawing, always click save. All right, for the sake of just learning the program, we're just going to build a simple little house. So, a couple ways to do the base. I like to always start drawing at the origin. That is where all three axes intersect. You don't have to, just kind of a preference of mine. So I'm going to click this rectangle tool. Some sub-tools pop out. Rectangle's the top one. Okay, I'm going to click and release the origin. Do not click and drag. Do not hold down. Just click and release. And then hover out, which tells it which two axes you want the rectangle to be on. Okay, but don't click again. Just click and release, come out. If you ever get in a jam, two buttons that'll help you out. Escape on your keyboard, ESC, lets go of whatever tool you're using, and Command Z is undo. Okay, so I'm going to click and release, hover out, and then if I'm doing a rectangle, I'm going to type the two dimensions that I want it to be with a comma in between. Okay, so I want this to be 20 feet, so I'm going to go 20, and one tick mark for feet, comma, space, 10 feet. Okay, now yours may be a way different size on your screen. You might be zoomed out like this, you might be zoomed in like this. How big it is on your screen doesn't really mean anything. Okay, and then let's go ahead and talk about a few of these navigation tools, because you probably already need them. To zoom in and out, you put your cursor on the area you want to zoom on, and then do two fingers on your trackpad, scroll up and down. Scroll up is zoom out, scroll down is zoom in. Okay, and make sure that your cursor is on the area you want to zoom around. Then, if you don't like the angle you're looking at, this button is orbit, which spins around, and the subcategory, this one is pan, which if you just click and drag, it moves it around your screen. Okay, so a lot of times I'll just be orbit in and zoom in, and I won't really mention it, but that's what I'm doing. All right, so there's the base of my house. And now I'm going to use the push-pull tool, which is this one. If you've done anything on Inventor, I think they call it Extrude. So I'm going to go push-pull. It's always click and release. It's never click, hold, drag. Okay, so I'm going to click and release. I'm going to hover up but not click again, and I'm going to type the number of how tall I want that to be. So I want it to be 10 feet. If you just do a number and don't do a label, it's going to assume inches. So if you want it to be feet, do one tick mark or an apostrophe to tell it that you want feet. Now I need to give my house a roof. So I'm going to do the pencil, start. So I want it to snap to midpoint. You'll learn all these. Endpoints green, midpoints light blue. There's different ones for different parts of a line segment. So I'm going to click and release. I'm going to come up. Now this is important. When you want it to be like perpendicular and parallel, make sure you stay on the correct axis. So make sure it says on blue axis, make sure your line is blue. And type, I don't know, I want a 4 foot tall at the peak. So I'm going to go 4 feet, enter. I'm going to click escape because I'm done drawing this line. Then I'm going to, with my pencil, I'm going to connect, click and release, click that endpoint, click that endpoint, click that endpoint. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my eraser, which is right here. And I'm going to click, drag, swipe over that line. I'm going to go back to my push-pull tool, click this face, come back, click this corner. Now I have a ridge line. That line's kind of bugging me. I just don't like it there. Actually, I'm going to leave it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this out towards me now to have a little porch. So I'm going to click this face, hover out towards me. I'm going to go 6 feet, 6-foot porch. So now my house has a little front porch. Okay. I feel like I need some porch posts. So I'm going to orbit the bottom one to where I'm looking down at the bottom here. And I'm going to draw some porch posts here. So I'm going to click this for corner. Okay, I'm going to go, I want a 6x6 post. This is inches, so I don't need a label. So I'm going to go 6, comma, space, 6, enter. Same thing over here, 6, hover out, comma, space, 6, enter. And then I'm going to push pull that down 10 feet. Push pull that down 10 feet. Now I got a little porch with some porch posts. What else do I need? I need a door. I need a door under my porch. Actually, I need a floor too. So I'm gonna go back to pencil. Click, click. I'll tell you how to get rid of that in a second. Click here, rotate, click, click. Okay. Now I don't want that to fill in. So I'm going to click my select tool, which is the top one here. I'm going to 2-finger click or right click on that face. Click erase. Same here, same here. Alright. Now I need a door. So I'm just going to kind of zoom on where I want to work. I want to be working right here. I'm going to go rectangle tool. I'll just start at my midpoint. Why not? Door width. Door height is usually 80 inches. Wait. No, 82 inches. I'm going to go 82, comma, space, 30. Oops. I did them backwards. Let me undo. I'm going to type those in the other order. 30, comma, space, 82. There we go. So I got a little skinny door. Alright, I'm going to do a doorknob. So click on the rectangle, change it to circle. Hey, I know I'm talking kind of fast, but you guys can pause, rewind, fast forward, skip around. Doorknob, click, go out a little bit. That's too big. Command Z, undo. I'm going to click, go out a little bit. Let's type 1.5. There we go. That gives me a better looking doorknob. I need a window out here. I feel like I need a window. But I want to space these windows out nicely. So I'm going to give myself some reference lines. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come and draw a line across this face. Okay. Then I'm going to split that line in half. So there is my midpoint. Just going to make a line later. This is just for reference. So now if I put a window here and here, they're evenly spaced because I can use midpoints. So I'm going to make that be the bottom of my window. So I'm going to click and release, hover along this line. Let's go 16, enter. Now I'm going to hover along that line and find the endpoint. There it is. It says endpoint. So click, hover up on the blue, 16, actually, undo. Hover up, 32, enter. Hover right on red, 32, enter. Back down to close it up. I'm going to do this one the same way. Start at the midpoint of this line. Hover over to the left, 16, enter. Hover over till it turns green. Click, hover up the blue, 32, enter. Right on red, 32, enter. Down on blue, 32, enter. Now I'm going to grab my eraser and just clean up all of those dimension lines. Alright, that's kind of a basic. I want you guys to, well, let's show one more thing. Make sure I've shown all the lines here. Select, erase, talk about paint bucket, line, Haven't done anything with the arc, but we don't use that very often. There's circle and rectangle. We talked about push-pull. We'll talk about those later. Tape measure, if you ever just are like, I can't remember how long that is. Okay, you can click on something, click on the other side, and then just see what your number says down there in the corner. Okay. I actually usually just use my pencil for that. Click that side of the line, hover on that side of the line, does the same thing. Oh, one other helpful one. Sometimes you just get zoomed out into outer space and you like can't find your drawing. If you click the bottom button and then the bottom button again, it zooms into whatever you've drawn so far. And then paint bucket, check this out. So if I go paint bucket, you're going to be on this screen. If you do the search, you have these cool categories. So like brick, make my house brick, close that. There's one here for roofing, give your roof shingles. There's one here for glass, looks good on your windows. Give your door color. Oops. Okay. All right. Here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to add something else on your own without help. Okay? So maybe, well, I don't want to give you too many examples because then you're going to do what I say. I want you to do something that you think's cool. Maybe add a chimney. Maybe add a tree in the yard. Put something on your porch. Do another overhang off this side. Just do something to kind of add to yours. And then raise your hand and show me what you got. All right, that's all.